The abilities of the Nine Titans have always kind of confused me. Usually when you have a power system in anime, you can kind of see how they relate to each other. Like usually there's a theme that they're going for. But for AOT, all the abilities seem kind of random. Maybe it's for realism, like all of the abilities are all organic, like no one shooting lasers out of their eyes, although I think that would be cool. As an anime-only fan, here's my take on what the abilities of the Nine Titans mean. Obviously, the Attack Titan opposes the Armor Titan. It's like offense versus defense, and it represents the conflict between Eren and Rhino. And in general, it just represents war. What happens when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force? Many of the Titans represent tools of war. For the Colossal Titan, I think it represents nuclear warfare. The way its transformation looks like a nuke, and the way it emits steam, it reminds of radiation. But the two that really stumped me was the Female Titan and the Beast Titan. For the Female Titan, she can just run long distances, like that's it, she has good cardio. Along with a couple other things, and there's a lot of heavy emphasis on that. I have a personal theory that the Beast Titan will be able to transform into different animals later on, but for now, he can just throw stuff. But then I remembered a couple of science facts. So humans are actually built to have the best dynamite out of any animal. That's how we hunted our prey back then, we just outpaced them. Humans also have the best drawing arm out of any animal. And I guess for this concept, you can argue that the Warhammer Titan fits in too. Because the fact that humans were able to make and use tools back then was a huge advantage. But my point is that their abilities were based off human characteristics that helped them survive in the wild. So there's a heavy emphasis on war and humanity, who would have thought? But I really love how it's done here, how it just highlights humanity's history of fighting. Starting from right when humans first evolved to catch their prey, to nuclear warfare. It all ties back to one of Eren's moral principles. If you win, then you live, and if you lose, then you die, and if you don't fight, then you can't win. So then you fight. If you don't think AOT is a masterpiece of fiction at this point, I don't know what to tell you. But I know that I'm hyped for the return of Attack on Titan in just 3 days. It's gonna be amazing.